What is going on? Today we're going to be doing a simple and easy but quick and efficient dumbbell only upper body workout. Let's get to it. First lift today is going to be alternating dumbbell bench press, keeping a nice tempo here, and we're going to be doing 3 sets for 10 to 12 reps. We do a rep range so that way we can make sure that we're pushing it to failure or at least approaching failure. So let's go ahead and bust that out. First set's down, and I think it went pretty well. Good tempo, and we made it to the 12th rep, which is a good sign. The weight here, I know, is relatively low, but we're only doing 2 minutes between sets, so because of the higher intensity, we're going to keep the weight relatively low. Also, you may be wondering why I'm filming this, even though I said I would probably stop doing workout videos like this. And a big part of that was because we had people in town this weekend, and I'm not going to lie, I want to use my new microphone. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pace around this garage for the next minute and a half, and then hit set number 2. And just like that, set number 2 is done. I gotta say that this feels a lot better than last week. Last week I was coming off of the 100,000 step challenge. If you haven't seen that video, please be sure to check that out. And yeah, it was a lot more of a struggle coming off that challenge. My body felt a little bit more beat up, but today I'm feeling good. Speaking of which, we have some discussions to be had. I got a lot of comments, not a lot, a couple, on the last video because it didn't do well, but I got a lot of nice comments saying that I'm underrated or it should have more views or more likes, things like that. First of all, if you commented, thank you. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot to me. But I do also want to kind of caveat that with the fact that none of this is going to happen overnight. And at the end of the day, if the people watching enjoy the content and they feel like they got some type of value, that means more to me than getting bigger numbers. I've gotten bigger numbers in the past, just doing full days of eating. And overall, I felt like it didn't really provide the value that a video like that would. Not that they don't provide value, obviously. I wouldn't keep making them if they didn't provide value. But I do feel like I don't get the same amount of engagement on videos like that I do on the challenge videos. And hopefully, it inspires people to kind of branch out of their comfort zone, try new things, and maybe try something a little bit harder than they would have if they had not seen that content. Set number 3, let's do it. Light work. Next exercise is going to be dumbbell rows. We're going to be doing that on the bench. And I believe this one we're doing alternating. Everything's going to be alternated for the most part because I'm trying to work on some imbalances that I have. So basically I'm doing things that are, focusing on my form on each side of my body, broken out, and alternating those exercises as opposed to just simply compounding them. I mean, obviously they're still compound movements, but I'm going to be focusing more on one side on each rep. Let's go ahead and get it started. We're going to be doing 3 sets. My rep range is going to be 12 to 15. Can't lie, I thought that was going to be a little bit different. It was just a simple, regular, alternating dumbbell rows. However, same concept, same principles. Also, I should mention that today's workout will probably go more than 30 minutes for 2 minutes for two reasons. One, the dumbbells that I'm using, I have to adjust and makeshift. And then two, I'm filming, so I have to make sure like I'm stopping the camera, keeping it going, moving it around and things like that. I'm not gonna lie, some of those reps were less than optimal. Now going back to the whole entire underrated video, not getting enough views, let's get back to that for a second. Sometimes it's okay to be underrated. There's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of people kind of have this image of success just being like everything panning out and working out for you. And the reality is sometimes whenever things are going really well or seemingly well, they're a lot more difficult than you think. And if I'm being honest, YouTube will never be my career. I'll never be a Jesse James West. I'll never be Alex Eubanks. I think I'll always be too honest and too real to be doing what they do. Take that how you want it. Basically, those people, in my opinion, their loyalties lie where the money's at, and I've got a full-time job. I don't need to be doing this. I'm doing it by choice. And because I like it, you know, I enjoy it. And people that I know seem to enjoy it as well. And the views are what the views are. Basically what I'm getting at is in a world full of Mr. Beast, be an Ian on YouTube. The next exercise on board is incline dumbbell bench. While most of these will be alternating, I just like this movement, and having one of these in here isn't going to kill my progress, so let's get to it. The reps and set are going to be 4 sets of 12 to 15. But before I do that, let me explain the Ian on YouTube thing. I just recently found this kid. I guess he's not a kid, he's like 2 years younger than I am. And he basically works at 7-Eleven and has been on the internet for a minute now, and he just started getting a little bit of clout. He hasn't taken any sponsorships. He hasn't done the traditional route of getting monetized. I mean, I think he's got AdSense on, but I don't think he's ever taken a sponsorship or anything like that. No, I don't know him personally, so I don't want to hype him up too much because most of these people just end up disappointing anyways. But watching his content, you can tell that there's some genuine, he's a genuine person, and that's important. And chances are, even though he could have pulled a Haktua and, you know, built his own brand and kind of made it built around 7-Eleven, he chose simplicity and comfort over clout and greed, at least as far as we know up to this point. However, I will say that after watching a few of his videos, I do believe he's pretty genuine. Now, to be clear, I'm not a big fan of people just sitting by and watching their life pass by, but I do appreciate the fact that he's okay with the simplicity of his life. And I think he'd agree with that statement as well, and that's what makes him an appealing YouTuber, as opposed to the people that are still promoting Gorilla Mind even though they sold fake testosterone. Anyways, with all of that said, I guess what I'm getting at is I would rather work hard and be unrecognized than to work hard and be essentially a 2-bit con man. At the end of the day, if you're doing this and it's really just about making the content, then just make it about the content and stop chasing clout and money. And at the very least, stay true to yourself, because all of those guys are literally carbon copies of each other. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but 2 minutes rest in between sets. You ever feel like you black out a little bit on a set, lose count, and don't know if you actually hit the number that you think you hit? That just happened to me. One more set to go. I almost thought that last one was gonna fall. All right, my battery is running low, so I'm going to take video of the remainder of the workout and just do a little voiceover, but I'll probably only film about one set. Next lift is gonna be alternating dumbbell shoulder press. This is gonna be 3 sets of 10 to 12. And again, just focusing more on tempo. So coming down a couple seconds, pause for 1 second, go up for a couple of seconds. Then I'm going to be doing alternating single arm flies as well as bench rear delt flies. That's a superset of 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. And to finish this off, we're going to do a single arm cable kickback, or at least I'm going to use the cables. You can definitely use dumbbells for tricep kickback, as well as a superset with alternating arm curls for 3 sets of 12 to 15. As far as rest times go, the alternating dumbbell shoulder press will be about 1.5 minutes between sets. The rest of them will be about 1 minute between sets. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed today's content, please comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And until next time, keep it together.